How's it going, everyone? It's time for me to do a recap of the day trades I've taken this week, or at least the ones that really stand out to me. It's been a tougher week. We did really well given this August, which is typically the worst trading month of the year. But September's almost here, and honestly, August has not been nearly as bad as it was last year, in my opinion. But as always, before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Click that thumbs up button and click that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Be sure to do this. It really helps me out. You get all this for free. So let's get right into it. Took a trade yesterday on Amazon. Now, my watch list said 135 for puts. Now, what that 135 level was a nice resistance on the hourly time frame. We had some confluence in the area as well. What I really like is how we had this nice big push up to it. Came here and touched. The ideal entry would be to take that once the candle turned red, coming back off of that. Ideally, you see some selling volume coming in as well. Beautiful move. My first trim would have been right here. Unfortunately, I did not take it off this trade. I took it here for early entry right off the open because it was kind of like a supply zone. So I took it here, took this move down, did really well. But this trade was still valid because, we pushed way back up to it. But this would have been the ideal entry, honestly, because we pushed up, we touched it exactly. Nice big push off of it. Your ideal entry would have been off a red candle. My first trim in this, when I take a reject or a bounce, usually my first trim is when I reach my first indicator. And in this instance, it would have been the 9 EMA. So my first trim would have been around this 134.23 area personally. For those of you that trade options, that would have been a very nice move in the premiums. Would have been a very nice trade overall. Small account friendly as well. The trade I took on Tesla today, they have the stock split coming up today. So I kind of expected a big move up, but I never trade based off my expectation. I trade levels. So I identified this 901.79 area as a resistance, and I was reading volume to take this trade. My ideal entry would have been in this bounce area, but I happened to miss this entry just because I was looking at something else. I should have been completely focused on this. That was my fault. Anyways, I caught this trade here, and I played this all the way up to 910. I seen some decrease in the buying volume. I said, okay, I didn't have a huge position, so I said, I'm going to take my profits here. Lock them in. I simply got out of the trade. As you can see, it worked out well. We did push back off. We sold back off. So, can't really complain. Yes, I probably should have left some runners, but it worked out. I had Shop, ticker SHOP, Shopify. I said, I'm watching this above 32.9 for 33 calls. The 33 calls look really nice for this trade. Let me give you a rundown of why I picked them. Well, the open interest looked good. The spreads were decent. By far the best option to use to day trade this. I did trade this. My TOS was acting up a bit, so it was pretty much luck that I got filled and luck that I made money. But a lot of members took this trade, and they did really well. I've seen some people made $300, $400, $500 off this trade. Small account friendly. If you got in at the break this 32.9, let's see, we're currently at 33.5. It's a possible $40, $50 increase per contract. Maybe closer to the 40 area, depending on the delta. I did not really pay too much attention to the delta. I know it was around close to that 40 area. As you can see, we had two entries here. I want to talk about another possible entry. Say we missed this initial breakout, okay? So what we would have waited on, we talk about this a lot, especially inside Team Bull, is a retest. And we pulled back nicely to this 9 EMA. Looking at the 5-minute chart here, taking this retest here, we clearly see we had an increase in buying volume, buyers coming back in. Took this, and we could have played that move up here. Nonetheless, either of these would have worked out. I feel that retests are definitely the safer entry rather than taking the initial breakout, because when you have that big push up, you do need to pull back some, and that's what happens on the retest. Typically pulls back to that 9 EMA, which ideally should be close to that key level you was watching. But that's all I have for you all today. If I left any good trades out, I do apologize. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. And if you're not inside Team Bull, go to my link. Come join us. We trade live every morning. If you want some free game, join my Instagram lives. I do them pre-market every morning, and they're 100% free. We create a watch list. We vibe, have a good time, talk. I look at stocks for other people. But I appreciate you all for watching. I'll catch you next time.